Hello, kids. Today's reading comes a few days late. I must concede. 我承认哈，今天的阅读晚了几天了。That's because Jupiter and Saturn, 木星和土星 appeared in the sky very close to each other just a few days ago. But I still like to read this because there are terms about astronomy and science that you should get to know. You should definitely know, in fact. So let's go. And this one is relatively short. I kind of doubt this would even last 7 or 8 minutes. Cape Canaveral, Florida. Cape Canaveral 就是Florida 州这个 NASA 一天到晚发射卫星的地方。Jupiter and Saturn will merge in the nighttime sky Monday, appearing closer to one another than they ever have since Galileo's time in the 17th century. Astronomers say that the so-called conjunctions, 就是会合，天文的会合 between the two largest planets in our solar system aren't particularly rare, 并不是太少见。Jupiter passes its neighbor Saturn in their respective laps around the sun every 20 years. But the one coming up is especially close. 从我们的角度看起来 anyway. Jupiter and Saturn will be just 1/10 of a degree apart from our perspective, or about 1/5 the width of a full moon. 我认为这个是有问题的。I think there's a problem with that. I think a fifth of the full moon would be about 2 to 3 degrees. I'm not sure, but I know that this information is probably off a little bit. They should be easily visible around the world a little after sunset, weather permitting. 如果天气容许他们看到的话，意思就是天上如果没有云的话。Toss in the winter solstice, 冬至就是每一年在北半球12月21号 Toss in the winter solstice in the northern hemisphere. 北半球这个字一定要知道，你的大脑的左边右边也叫做 hemispheres. The longest night of the year, and the summer solstice in the southern hemisphere, and this just in time for Christmas spectacle promises to be one of the greatest of great conjunctions. 刚刚好赶上圣诞节 spectacle 一个伟大的一个视觉的一个就是一件很令人叹为观止的事情，叫做一个 spectacle promises to be 一个 one of the greatest of great conjunctions. What is most rare is a close conjunction that occurs in our nighttime sky, says Vanderbilt University's David Weintraub 有时候这个 B 我才是不用念的哈，但是不知道怎么念。An astronomy professor. I think it's fair to say that such an event typically may occur just once in any one person's lifetime, and I think once in a lifetime is a pretty good test of whether something merits being labeled as rare or special. Merits 值不值得哈？值不值得被称作是一个一辈子一次的一个景观？ It will be the closest Jupiter-Saturn pairing since July 1623, when the two planets appeared a little nearer. This conjunction was almost impossible to see, however, because of its closeness to the sun. 1623年比我们还近，但是它离太阳太近了，根本看不到。Considerably closer and in plain view, in plain view，根本就是摊在你的眼前让你看 was the March 1226 conjunction of the two planets when Genghis Khan 成吉思汗 was conquering Asia. Monday's conjunction will be the closest pairing that is visible since way back then. 自从那个时候 way back then. Saturn and Jupiter have been drawing closer in the southwest sky for weeks. Jupiter, bigger and closer to Earth, is vastly brighter. 比土星要亮很多。I love watching them come closer and closer to each other, and the fact that I can see it with my naked eyes. 肉眼就可以看得到。From my back porch， 在它的后院就看得到了。Virginia Tech astronomer Nahum Arav said in an email, "To see it, be ready shortly after sunset Monday, looking to the southwest fairly low on the horizon." 高过地平线 fairly low 就是离地平线不会太远。Saturn will be the smaller, fainter blob at Jupiter's upper right. Binoculars will be needed to separate the two planets. Despite appearances, Jupiter and Saturn will actually be more than 450 million miles or 730 million kilometers apart. Earth, meanwhile, will be 550 million miles from Jupiter. A telescope will not only capture Jupiter and Saturn in the same field of view, 就是你的视野、视线、视野，你的看到的范围。But even some of their brightest moons. Their next super close pairing, March 15, 2018. 我大概是看不到了。Okay, I'll see you next time. Take care.